to say? No.
There's so many good things to say about him.
How long ago did you start?
6. I was just trying to figure that out before. 6.5 years.
I have known Phil for 33 years. I took time off to have my kids, and when I wanted to come back to work, I reached out, and he gave me the opportunity to work for him again. He must be doing something right.
A long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, I started to work at an office called Stanley Waxman. And I was just on the verge of starting law school, so I started as a legal secretary, and then I moved along and became a paralegal when I went to law school. And in my 3rd year of law school, a new associate started by the name of Phil Rizzuto. And he thought he was all that in a pickle, and within 3 months of his start date, we weren't talking. And we didn't speak for the rest of his tenure there, and then he left. And he came back to work for us again when we were Waxman and Wincott, and then we were colleagues and just attorneys. And if you would ask me back then if I'd ever be an employee of his, it was a hard no. And then he became Philip J. Rizzuto, PC, and Rizzuto Law. And here I am, over 25 years later, now giving a tribute to him as my boss.
Over a year ago, I came in for an interview with Mr. Rizzuto, and we kind of hit it off right away. He's very cordial, professional, and he went over my background, and I got a call 3 hours later, and he hired me.
When I first got hired at my interview, I came in not sure what I was expecting, and he pretty much hired me on the spot. I didn't have much experience.
I've had a number of different jobs. I've worked in accounting, I've worked in retail, and now I'm a lawyer, obviously, and I've had a lot of different bosses from different walks of life, and Phil is one of the best bosses I've ever had.
So most law firms, when you go to, they like peg-hole you. Like they're like, you're just going to do this. With me, everyone wants to be like, review the records, and then I never get to be a lawyer, right? And I was a nurse, and I did everything I was supposed to do as a nurse. I was a nurse consultant. And then when I became a lawyer, everyone wanted me like, just do this, and I don't want to do that. I want to be a lawyer. I want to go to court. I want to argue, and it'll always be peg-holed. And I would never stay anywhere because of that.
I started out in reception right after paralegal school, just to get my foot in the door and learn some stuff about the law. About 3 months after I started, Phil took me and my new supervisor at the time out for lunch and talked about my future. It was very encouraging to discuss me becoming a paralegal and what my future at the firm would be. Since then, I felt very supported by Phil to work to the best of my abilities, and that there is no ceiling, and that I can go as high with the firm, and we can keep growing.
So what are some qualities of a good boss that you think that he has?
Oh, he has definitely leadership. He's a good leader. Communication, and he also actually cares about his employees. So you're coming into work. It's not just about push out the work. It's I actually care about my employees and what they bring to the table. So he kind of gives you the opportunity, right? You want to go to trial? Let's go to trial. Like the best was when he goes, "You're gonna go to trial on this auto accident in like 2 days," and he goes, "You have to know this, and you have to know this." He makes it seem like it's possible, if that's the best way I can say it. Like you can get from point A to point B, because there are trial attorneys that are successful, right? How did they get there? They didn't just wake up knowing that. So I think the fact that we have that opportunity, and it's our own opportunity, right? Like we can make what we're going to do of ourselves.
I guess he saw some potential in me, so I was just grateful for that. And I thought that was a good quality to look past not having too much on my resume and just see the good qualities that I could bring to the table, that he trusted that I'd be able to learn and grow. So that was a lasting impression that I had.
someone who is kind, understanding, patient. In the year that I've been here working at the firm, it's just been really nice to work with you, and I appreciate all the times that you take an extra step, being that you're juggling and doing many things.
I wanted to take the time to honor you by expressing my gratitude for going above and beyond to make me feel welcomed and a part of the team.
People who work for him or with him all have a lot of respect for him.
One time I saw Phil wearing this shirt, so now I wear this shirt.
I am happy to call us friends. He treats me very well here. He values my opinion. He values my work. He almost treats me like a partner. All decisions he makes, most, if not all, he runs by me, and that is, even if he doesn't care what I think, at least he's showing respect and considering my opinion.
He's a hands-on boss. Anytime we need anything, any answers to any questions, his office is always open. He's very fair.
And he doesn't like emails, which is good. So he's not like all over you like stink on a monkey. So that's nice. And he's available if there's questions. So I like that about him.
He's like a father to me.
He throws great Halloween parties, which is awesome, and decorations, forget about it, top tier this year.
He's also fun and funny. Last year we had a Halloween party. It was our first. We're having another one on October 30th. And he dressed like Batman, and you could tell he really enjoyed dressing like Batman. I was almost surprised he didn't show up all week in his Batman outfit.
I do like the idea that he optimizes on, my background, right? Because we all have, little niches about ourselves. And so I think that's really good.
He's very hardworking. He's dedicated to his cause. He's driven.
I'm coming back from court.
Did you win?
I always win.
Communicative. You can go talk to him and he will tell you what to do, even if you think it's the stupidest question ever. He will still help you out and let you know this is what you need to do, this is, how you would execute it.
To take the time to mentor, because it's not just about, letting us know what to do or targets or things, but I really appreciate the moments of mentorship that you give us, because it is something that I haven't experienced before.
When I was in law school, he was always very supportive and always willing to help me with anything that I needed help with, either understanding the law or looking over an assignment.
Very willing and able to teach us new things, to impart some of the wisdom. I mean, he's tried a lot of cases. He's very experienced attorney.
Philip Rizzuto is a terrific boss. He has a good sense of humor and he's very easygoing.
Very personable too. And he always asks how my weekend was, which is awesome. Somebody who, even if he may not care, he still asks me how my weekend was, and I will always go on a rant and tell him exactly what I did, and he will listen the whole time, which is pretty awesome.
When he gives of himself and he gives advice on how to do certain things, he's really helping me to become a better attorney, and I do appreciate that.
I'm looking forward to working with you and the team and seeing all the great ways that you'll lead us in the future.
I'm proud to say that he's my boss.
So I just want to say thank you, and I want you to continue to just being you, caring for the clients as well as us as well.
He tends to be understanding and wants to make us and the staff happy and keep us around.
He's always willing to help you learn and grow.
And it's very encouraging to have a boss that supports you in that manner.
I'm happy to call him my friend and my boss.
When I first started, I learned about the core values that we have here at the Rizzuto Law Firm, one of which is integrity, honesty, and trustworthiness. He is all of these things and more, and he also has a terrific sense of humor. He's a wonderful boss. Happy Boss's Day.
I want to wish Phil Rizzuto a happy Boss's Day.
Happy Boss's Day, Phil, you rock.
Happy Boss's Day.
Happy Boss's Day, Phil.
Happy Boss's Day, Phil.
Happy Boss's Day.
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 Happy Boss's Day.